Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Tom. I'm a history student and politics student from Germany. I live in Bavaria right now, and today we're gonna take a look at the video 15 geography facts you missed about Europe. And since I'm from Europe, I feel like this video is made for me to give you some commentary. And yeah, I've traveled a bit, my fair share to Europe. I wouldn't say I've seen everything, but especially like in the eastern part of Germany, I haven't seen a lot places. And but I've traveled a lot of through Europe. I did an 1 year camper, mobile camper tour through Europe. So I traveled from Germany down to Greece through the Balkan, and from there Italy, and down up there over France to Spain for rough 7-8 months. So I've seen there a lot. On my travels, I've seen a lot. I lived a few months in Italy, and yeah, so may know some of the facts. I hope I get surprised by some of them, and I would say we jump right into that and take a look at them. Yeah, let's go.
What if I told you that one of the most developed continents on Earth is home to a primeval rainforest, and a country that had no mosquitoes until 2025? Or that the world's smallest
I just learned something new. I didn't know that.
nation sits on the same continent as the world's most densely populated? From an army that famously gained a soldier during a war, to a single river that flows through 10 different countries. Here are 15 incredible geography facts you never knew about Europe. And we're gonna start with the land that makes up this peninsula of peninsulas.
Yeah, if you think about it, Europe is, I mean, it's, I think, the smallest continent, isn't it? Or maybe Australia, but I'm not sure about that. But yeah, it's really just the peninsula of the Asian continent, or let's say the Eurasian continent. It's just a peninsula, and then we have a lot of peninsulas, like you said, like Denmark, Italy. You could argue Greece. Yeah, Spain and Portugal. What's the name? Iberian Peninsula. Yeah. That's good.
Geographically, Europe isn't a separate continent in the way Australia or North America are. It's technically the far western end of the massive Eurasian supercontinent. And
but there's like not one definition of a continent. I mean, there's like 7 or 8 different continent constellations, where some have count 6, some count 9, and some count Australia and Oceania as one, these two as one, some count north and south, and some distinguish because of cultural differences and historic difference. So I wouldn't, maybe this is like tectonic reasons.
What defines it is its incredibly long, irregular, and fractured coastline. This is why it's often called the Peninsula of Peninsulas. Think about it. The main body of Europe is a large peninsula jutting out from Asia. But that landmass is itself made up of smaller major peninsulas. You have the Scandinavian Peninsula in the north, the Iberian Peninsula in the south, the Italian Peninsula, and the Balkan Peninsula. This unique shape has profoundly influenced its history of fostering distinct nations in semi-isolated ways.
Yes, probably to if you count Australia as one, but if you count Australia and Oceania as one, I think it might be way bigger.
And disproportionate impact on world history, Europe is shockingly small. By land area, it's the second smallest continent on Earth, with only Australia being smaller. In fact, the entire continent of Europe covers about 10 million square kilometers, which is only slightly larger than the single country of Canada or the United States. This small size makes its cultural and linguistic diversity even more remarkable. Dozens of nations, each with their own languages and ancient histories, are packed tightly together. This geographic compression has been a primary driver of its history, fueling
yeah, but if you think about it, like so small and dense, and still had such a huge influence on the world history, especially like 1600, 1500 onwards. And I mean, it's not the center of the history, and that's maybe a big problem, especially in European history, that we just focus on history. But if you think about the global politics now, is so influenced by the politics of the European politics and European superpowers of the 19th century and their colonial imperialistic, you know. Yeah, you know, I don't know the word yet, but you know what I mean.
Hence trade, intellectual exchange, innovation, and, famously, centuries of conflict. The very idea of it being a separate continent from Asia is more of a cultural distinction, first made by the ancient Greeks, rather than a clear-cut geographic one.
Yeah, and I feel like the first start of the real concept of Europe versus Asia is beginning with like the tales of the with the happenings in the Greek-Persian War from 480 BC. And this is like the start where you see like, especially a bit later in the retellings, that it's the Europeans against an Asian power, which is the Persians here. And then later it starts really heavily when Istanbul, there, Constantinople, thank you, bless you, and was conquered by the Arabs or by the Ottomans. That is like the start of Europe against a common Asian enemy.
You hear rainforest, you probably picture the Amazon or the Congo, not the Balkans. But Europe is home to one of the last and largest remaining primeval forests on the continent, Poročica, located in Bosnia and Herzegovina. This forest, part of the Sutjeska National Park, is a rare window into what Europe looked like thousands of years ago.
Is it a rainforest, or is it a in Germany there's a word Urwald, which means like, I think he said a word, I'm not sure what the word was, but like ancient forest. Maybe that's like a best translation, but a rainforest is like a forest with very high rainfall, this means it's just very old forest, where we have quite a few in Germany, which are untouched by human foresting. Yeah, I don't know.
Means it has remained almost entirely untouched by human industry. It's a dense, ancient woodland with towering beech and black pine trees.
But that's not a rainforest, more like an,
over 60 meters tall and 300 years old. It's also a biodiversity hotspot, providing a protected sanctuary for bears, wolves, and countless plant species. The forest also features the stunning 75-meter Skakavak waterfall. In a continent so thoroughly shaped by human hands for millennia, Poročica is a precious living piece of natural history.
I didn't know that, but I feel like
looking for
it's a fact. Why would you hear that as like, if you go there, maybe it's interesting, but so far in the north, it's like pretty, I didn't think about it, and doesn't surprise me that there haven't been mosquitoes.
Perfect summer escape, Iceland offers a unique perk. It's one of the only countries in the world with no native mosquito population. While other northern regions like Greenland, Siberia, and neighboring Scandinavia are plagued by swarms of them, Iceland has remained blissfully bite-free.
It's more interesting to know that there are like swarms of them, rather than there having none.
It's not just that it's cold. The reason is its unique and unstable maritime climate. Mosquito larvae require a period of stable, continuous cold to hibernate in frozen winter, followed by a stable thaw to mature. Iceland's weather is too volatile. It experiences rapid freeze and thaw cycles, even in midwinter, which constantly interrupts the mosquito life cycle before it can be completed. The island's water chemistry is also unfavorable. However, due to a warming climate, things are changing for Iceland, as it was just announced that 3 stowaway mosquitoes that arrived by freight shipping appeared to withstand the normally hostile environment. So Iceland might not be a mosquito-free country for long.
I could imagine this might be Slovenia, because I know Slovenia is like complete under it's like the whole country is caved out. There's a lot of caves. Maybe it's somewhere else, but Slovenia is really known for its cave, and I've visited quite a few when we did our Euro trip.
Forget climbing mountains. Some of the most extreme expeditions in Europe go straight down. The continent is home to the deepest known cave on Earth, the Krubera Cave, located in the Arabic...
Georgia. Most people don't really... I mean, technically it might be European, but I think most people feel like it doesn't really... it's part of Europe. But yeah, and I didn't know there's a large cave.
Massive in the Abkhazia region of Georgia, a country at the crossroads of Europe and Asia. This isn't just a cave, it's an inverted Everest. Explorers have mapped this subterranean giant to a staggering depth of 2,224 meters. To put that in perspective, that's deep enough to submerge 7 Eiffel Towers stacked on top of each other. This world record was a result of decades of grueling expeditions by international teams of speleologists who faced flooded chambers, tight passages, and the immense logistical challenge of exploring so far below the surface. It's a vast, complex network that pushes the limits of human endurance. Europe is an incredible continent. I've been here since November exploring all of the very weird places in Europe, like Gibraltar and Ceuta, Spain, which is Europe, but only it's also in Africa. And I'm also here to check out their world-famous Christmas markets, and to figure out why Europe is so obsessed with them. And that's why I think you should go subscribe to my travel channel, Geolax. Over the past year, I've been to Japan, Australia, Singapore, Armenia, and so many more countries. And next year, I'm off to even more places like Guatemala and Iceland. In each episode, I talk about the geography and history of the place, in addition to showing you just the general experience of being in that country. It's a travel vlog with benefits. So
I feel like that's the best part of advertisement, showing yourself on your channel, better than some product I really don't care about.
Go subscribe to Geolex and join me on my travels around the world. You can find a link in the description below. Now, let's get back to some more fun European geography facts. Nestled...
I wonder which one this is. It's showing Italy, so maybe San Marino. I don't know, it's pretty old, I guess. Or Liechtenstein isn't that old. But I feel like it's one of the smaller states, maybe... Yeah, Switzerland is it a republic? I'm not sure about that. We will see.
High in the Apennine Mountains and completely surrounded by Italy, the Republic of San Marino holds the title of the world's oldest surviving sovereign state and republic. According to legend, it was founded in the year 301 by a Christian...
I heard that the legend... I'm not sure if it's right, but what I heard is that like they supported the Italian movement. Or maybe that's way later, no, in the 1800s. But they supported the Italian movement for unification, and because of their help, they were allowed to remain like a free, self-sustained state.
Stonemason named Marinus, who was fleeing persecution from the Roman emperor. He and a small community took refuge on Mount Titano, establishing a community based on freedom and faith. How did it survive for so long while empires rose and fell around it? The answer is pure geography. Its location was isolated, mountainous, and easily defended. Yet it was also poor and offered little incentive for invasion. It skillfully navigated the complex politics of the Italian peninsula, even gaining protection from figures like Napoleon. Today, it remains a proud, independent microstate with a unique government.
Which polders have to okay, it's like artificial land, probably Netherlands. I guess they build a lot of land by
There's an old saying, God created the world, but the Dutch created the Netherlands. This isn't an exaggeration. It's a statement of geographic fact. A remarkable one-quarter of...
Such a beautiful country. I feel like Belgium and Netherlands, I mean, probably nature-wise it's okay, but like the cities and the people and the infrastructure is so clean, so beautiful. I feel like it's compared to Denmark, which is easily as beautiful. And if you go to Europe, you should check it out, especially in Amsterdam. But you go to Belgium and then you check out Brugge. There's like this movie. In Germany, it's seeing bridge and then die. I'm not sure if what's the English name is. And Ghent, which are beautiful cities in
the Netherlands, is at or below sea level, and about half the population lives in these low-lying areas. Most of this land, known as a polder, was painstakingly reclaimed from the sea, lakes, and marshes over centuries. The process was an incredible feat of engineering. The Dutch first built massive earthen-like dams to wall off a section of water.
I mean, look, that's like maybe 1800s, 1700s, 1800s. Which is crazy that they were able to build such stuff in this time, and even earlier. I know in the Middle Ages they built like huge dams and things to stop like the floods from the North Sea, which is like crazy architecture achievements early on.
And used windmills and later steam and electric pumps to drain the land dry, revealing new, fertile soil. This constant, high-stakes battle against the water has defined the Dutch character and landscape. The entire province of Flevoland, for example, is the largest artificial island in the world and was almost entirely reclaimed from the sea in the 20th century. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is one of the most famous
It's pretty famous, but I feel like if you have been there, I think it's pretty boring, and especially Pisa doesn't have to offer much. I mean, there's so much more interesting cities around that, like Siena, Lucca, Florence, I don't know, Cassini, and just the Monte Cassini Alto. I've been there. I think, yeah, I mean, it looks great for the pictures, and like this space, most people don't realize there's a tower and there's like the cathedral, and yeah, I'm not sure what this is, but I think this is like a mausoleum, yeah. But I think most people don't realize that.
Architectural failures in history, but the clue to its problem might have been right there in its name all along. Construction on the bell tower began in 1173 in the city of Pisa, a name some believe to be potentially derived from an ancient Greek word meaning marshy land. The architects built the tower's foundation on a dense, unstable, and waterlogged patch of silt and sand, and the lean began almost immediately. By the time builders finished the third story, the unstable soil on one side had begun to compact, and the tower started to tip. They tried to compensate by making the column shorter on the sinking side, but the lean only worsened over the next 800 years. While the exact etymology of the city name might be uncertain, this was clearly a classic case of historic geography being ignored. The microstate of Liechtenstein, nestled in the Alps between Switzerland and Austria.
Yeah. I think in the First World War, they fought out the fight with like 90 men, and then I think that's the story, came back with like 91 men and gained a friend who moved with them to Liechtenstein.
Is a testament to peaceful geography. Its last military engagement during the Austro-Prussian War of 1866 ended with one of the strangest facts in military history. The Principality sent out an army of 80 men to guard a mountain pass. They saw no combat and spent their time enjoying the Italian scenery. When the war ended, the army marched home, but they returned with 81 men. They hadn't taken a prisoner. They had simply made a friend, an Italian man who liked them so much, he decided to return to Liechtenstein with them. This non-event perfectly captured the spirit of the nation. Just 2 years later, in 1868, Liechtenstein completely disbanded its army, deeming it an unnecessary expense. It has remained a nation of official neutrality ever since.
I've been there.
Barcelona's magnificent La Sagrada Familia is a marvel of...
I think it's finished by now. I think like 3 months back they put a top stone on it.
Architecture, but it's also a monument to epic construction timelines. The church, designed by the legendary Antoni Gaudi, officially began construction in 1882.
Who I think built like a lot of things in Barcelona, which is really beautiful. There are like a few houses in this architectural style and like benches and monuments, and he's like maybe the best part of Barcelona is his buildings in the city. All in like the style of the Sagrada Familia, which I've been to as well.
It's still not finished to this day, over 140 years later. To put this in perspective, historians and engineers estimate that the Great Pyramid of Giza, one of the wonders of the ancient world, was completed in roughly 20 to 30 years. This means the Sagrada Familia has already been under construction for more than 4 times as long as an ancient pyramid. So why has it taken so long? The project has been funded entirely by private donations, and its progress was severely interrupted by the Spanish Civil War, during which Gaudi's original models were destroyed. Furthermore, the sheer complexity of his revolutionary design, which avoids straight lines, has required generations of craftspeople to slowly bring to life.
Which is probably Vatican. Of course, it's like just a few blocks.
The world's smallest sovereign state is hidden in plain sight, right in the heart of Rome, Italy. Vatican City is an independent city-state and the global...
And it's accepted by, I think, most, if not every, state in the world as like a sovereign state, but they are not part of the UN, United Nations, because they choose to stay out of it, because they say they are not taking part in global politics, or yeah.
Headquarters of the Roman Catholic Church. It's impossibly small, covering just 0.17 square miles, making it about 1/8 the size of New York Central Park. It also has the world's smallest population at only around 800 people, mostly clergy and the iconic Swiss Guards. Despite its minuscule size, it operates as a fully independent nation. The Vatican mints its own euros, which are highly sought after by collectors, prints its own stamps, issues its own passports, and has its own media outlets and bank. It's a modern-day demonstration of how immense global influence can be concentrated in a tiny, unique geographic space. Just a short trip down the coast from Italy, Europe holds another record for population extremes, the Principality of Monaco. While Vatican City is the smallest by area, Monaco is the most densely populated sovereign state on Earth. This tiny microstate on the glamorous French Riviera packs nearly 40,000 residents into an area of just over 2 square kilometers. To cope, Monaco has become a vertical country, with skyscrapers and luxury apartments built straight up the steep hillsides overlooking the Mediterranean. Why is it so crowded? For decades, Monaco has been a famous tax haven, attracting the world's wealthiest individuals with its policies of low or no income tax. This has created an extraordinary concentration of wealth and people, all competing for a sliver of highly desirable, sun-drenched land. Rivers are the lifeblood of continents,
yeah,
but
that's
no river
Donau, which is a beautiful river, and it flows from Germany to, I think, Austria, then not sure, Slovenia or Slovakia. I think Slovakia, but it will eventually go to Budapest, which is in Hungary, and then I think Bulgaria and the Black Sea, but I'm not sure about that actually.
Earth crosses more international borders than the Danube. While the Nile or Amazon may be longer, the Danube is one of the world's most international rivers, flowing
Serbia
through
as well,
or forming the border of 10 different countries. Starting in Germany's Black Forest, it journeys southeast for 2,850 kilometers before emptying into the Black Sea. Its path takes it through Germany, Austria, Slovakia, Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, Bulgaria, Romania, Moldova, and Ukraine. For centuries, this mighty river has been a critical artery for trade, migration, and culture. It served as the northern frontier for the Roman Empire and a strategic lifeline for the Austro-Hungarian and Ottoman empires. It links major capitals like Vienna, Bratislava, Budapest.
Yeah, rivers are so important to understand like the history and the geographics of Germany, because of Europe at all, and Germany as well, of course. But yeah, for years it's like a normal and natural barrier for countries and areas. Yeah, and the Donau, together with like the Rhine and a few others, is like the main part of it.
And Belgrade, acting as a liquid highway that both unites and divides this incredibly diverse part of the world.
Yeah, that's true. And I've swam like 10 of them, and they're all beautiful and all cold as fuck, especially if you get up in the mountains.
May be famously landlocked, but it's one of the most water-rich countries in the world. Its stunning alpine landscape is dotted with over 1,500 lakes, from the massive expanse of Lake Geneva to thousands of tiny, crystal-clear mountain tarns. This aquatic abundance is a direct gift of the last ice age. As massive glaciers carved their way through the Alps, they gouged out deep valleys and basins. When the ice retreated, these depressions filled with meltwater, creating the lake system we see today. The geography is so dense with water that no matter where you stand in Switzerland, you are never more than 16 kilometers away from a lake. This feature is central to Swiss life. The lakes provide some of the cleanest drinking water in the world, generate hydroelectric power, and are the stunning centerpiece of the nation's tourism industry. The European Union is a unique political and economic entity, and its approach to language is just as unique. The EU has 24 official and working languages, a policy that reflects its core motto, United in Diversity. This isn't just a symbolic gesture, it's a legal requirement. Unlike countries like the United States, which has no official language at the federal level, the EU guarantees that every member state's primary language.
But it makes sense because it's like a union of states and not one language dictating everyone else. So I feel like it makes sense and it's like a really good idea. But on the other hand, you have everyone works with like translators because in Poland everyone speaks the language they want.
Is respected. This means any EU citizen can write to the European Parliament in, say, Polish, and they are entitled to a reply in Polish. All major legislation must be translated and published in all 24 languages to be legally binding. This commitment creates one of the world's...
I wonder how much money that costs alone to have like all the translators working for the EU.
Largest translation and interpretation industries, employing thousands in Brussels and Luxembourg, all to ensure that no culture gets lost in the political shuffle. Europe is incredible in so many more ways than I've listed here. Germany, France, Spain, Italy, the United Kingdom, all mostly missing from this video, which is a testament to just how much more there is to...
Okay, I think that's it with the fact. I really enjoyed it. I learned, I think, quite a few. I didn't know about like maybe where the Donau goes after Hungary, and that it's across like 4 or 5 countries more after that. And I also didn't know that we have like the one of the oldest Urwälder, ancient forests in Bosnia, in single world Bosnia, and a few other things I learned. I really liked this video, and check out his channel, maybe his travel channel. It looks really interesting, and I hope I see you in the next video, guys. Goodbye.